So healthy food does not mainly mean the good one.
Okay.
Every food is food, but it's differentiate. You can differentiate it into two categories: the healthy food and the not healthy food.
Just like every die I die, it can't depend on how you want to take die. You know, see some people, you Bible say that and some people
and some people will be praying for one kind of them.
That Oluwa mo fẹ́ fọwọ́ rọrí kú ní sẹ́ àwọn kan sì ní Oluwa wo yẹ kí n ṣáà tẹ kú anyhow. Yeah. So you've heard that now. Everything are food. But there's healthy food and there's unhealthy food. Yes, like the Bible said that àti fi lé wájú yín ikú àti ìyè ẹ wá mú kan fúnra yín báyìí. Ọwọ́ ara yín ni la fi ṣe rẹ̀.
The choice is yours.
The choice is yours. Okay. Now we are talking about you are what you eat. In the let me just ask you what's the meaning of that phrase? Should I call it a phrase or a clause? Why would they say that you are what you eat?
Okay, I'm gonna use a very not too funny scenario, but for us to understand better. Whatever it is you consume every day will either make your body or mar your body. And the results of your health on your daily basis is determined by what you put into your body every day. The Holy Book says when God created us, he created us last, and he had created everything, heaven and earth, firmament, vegetables, everything. Then he created us and he made us to dominate over every of these things. So another analogy that I want to bring in here is God created us from the sand, and these vegetables and everything that is given to us to dominate over and to eat comes from the soil too, which is the same component we have been made. All those vegetable they become fruitful from the component of the soil, and we too become from the soil. Now it is what you put inside your body that will determine the kind of results you will get. If you put chemical based diets and all the likes, your body is a sand. As a scientist, or during our school days where we did chemistry and all of that, if you put sand and a chemical together, of course the result you will get is not the same. Okay. But when you plant any seed on the sand, it will bring out good results. So the same thing is applicable to our body, because our body is a sand component. We should plant, invest, ingest, put in the thing God has created, the vegetables, the good food that he has created and ordained for us to eat into our body system, not the chemical based thing that we consume every day.
Okay, we from your should I call it illustration now, you said we came from sand, and all these fruit and vegetables and everything from sand too. Now should I just ask you, because you said you did chemistry?
I did not do chemistry, but I know a bit.
Okay, I thought you said you
said
did
in our school days.
Then that day, Sinko,
I did do chemistry. I've been an art student all my life.
Oh my God! Because I want to ask you that chemical, don't they come from sand too?
Okay, now, well, for me, I don't think so. I don't think so. And when I mean chemical comes in different forms. The carbonate drink that we consume, the fast food, the things that are used for preservatives, these are the chemical, and those chemicals are hazardous. They have the advantage, but their disadvantage are much more than the advantage.
Okay, if I didn't even know any of those things you are talking about, I know of a microwave. When they want to microwave
the radiation.
I remember, I think last year or last 2 years, from last 2 years to last year, anytime I'm in Ikorodu, there's this fast food I usually visit to eat. So it's one day I just feel like, why not? Sorry, be more be buying, because when you get there, they will put the food in the plate. They will not put it in the microwave, and there's no way microwave want to be hot like a food that Baseda just bring down from. For example, now if you want to buy beans from all these canteen, the beans is always on fire. It's not like the restaurant beans that they will have put it inside one plate. Now, if very dry beans, it's my bean because it's dry, microwave. As in, so by myself, nobody told me. I was like, this thing doesn't make sense. So there's a day I went there to eat swallow. The egusi soup was not tasting somehow, and microwave like egusi maribai. That's the last day I went there. I go, microwave No. I'm no more. So that since then I've not been visiting fast food.
You came to the reality and the understanding of it, but there are still many people out there that have still not come to the understanding and the reality of the hazard all this is causing.
I don't even know the hazard though, but me, I'm a foodie. Let me just put it like that. I'm a foodie and I know food taste. Not even just taste now. I know aroma. They can be cooking in what's it called? 2-3 buildings. I can tell you the component of the food by just smelling it.
That's a gift.
No, so when the taste is, I will be like, no. This is like this is this thing that is causing something is missing there. So that's the reason why I just feel like, I won't eat anything microwave again. In fact, we have that microwave at home. I've never used it for once. Because I was be like, why not just put on the gas and warm the food? Why would I be putting microwave?
There are even several ways of eating up food without using microwave.
Okay.
Those are part of the things that I teach in my healthy cooking class. There are ways that we cook that we still retain all the benefits and the nutrients in the food.
Okay.
If you want to eat up your food and you don't want to use microwave, steam it up. Steam it up, because even by putting it back into your pot and then putting on the light, heating it up, warming it, if it stays too much, it loses out nutrients. The best way to eat a food while you want to warm your food is to steam it up. Just get a glass plate, put your food into it, put it into a steamer, then you are good to go.
So a steamer is better than a microwave?
Fantastically better.
Okay. That's advocacy for steamer. If you are listening to us now and your company is producing steamer, so it's any brand ambassador on here. It's any brand ambassador on here. Okay, you have some advert. All right. That's a good point. That's a good point. But now, in fact, I'm only the one asking the question. Okay, now let me go. Let me ask you this, because when I saw the topic, I was like, wow, well, because I like going jego, but the Japan jam púpọ̀ months, but one bam TC work by loan journey. So let me ask this question: is there any side effect in eating too much?
Okay, there's a saying that too much of everything is bad.
Is it the saying that is right now, or there's a principle?
Okay. Either you make it a saying, either you make it a principle. Too much of everything is literally bad. I want to quickly give us this analogy. The category or the ways different age should consume food.
Okay.
As a baby while growing up, we grow up while our mother gives us breastfeed us, and from there 6 months we start eating amala and we start eating solid food and all of that.
I will do 6 months though. My grandma 2 months
and afterwards we start growing and just eating anything anyhow. But the normal way that we should consume our food, or the specific eating habits, should be from 0 to 6 months. It should be exclusive breastfeeding. I recommend, if you can add water, just water, I recommend it, but exclusive breastfeeding. From 6 to 18 months, breastfeeding plus selected adult food, semi-liquid, liquid, semi-liquid, solid food. From 18 months to 25 years, several meals a day, just to make sure to eat right food. I'm going to be giving us what are the right food and how to consume the right food. So from 25 to 40 years, not more than 2 cooked meal a day. Not more than 2 cooked meal a day. And I will give
25 to 40.
25 to 40 years.
40.
I want to
Aha.
Or 6 times.
And I will give the reason behind it.
2 cooked.
So it means
2 cooked
they can
meal.
eat biscuits and snacks and other things.
No, I will give the reasons
things.
behind it
Okay.
now. From 40 to 50 should be 1 cooked meal a day. 1 cooked meal a day.
40.
Yes, from 40 to 50. Now, what are the other things that you can consume? I said cooked.
Okay.
There are several food. Don't forget that when I was giving definition of food, it's a big
something
umbrella.
we consume to give us
I give a big umbrella. Now, it's kind of why would you say from 40 to the reason is your metabolism is not the same thing as you have been growing up. You can't compare cooked food with raw food. You get 100% of nutrients from raw food, and there's a reduction when you cook your food. That is why most of the foreign country you see them take a lot of raw food. You say hey, well, I want people in general
When they are not animals.
like Chinese.
But here in a kind of environment here as an African country, you know, I've had so many people argue it. You cannot tell me that, you cannot this, you cannot that. But the truth of the matter is that is why we are the one that has the highest sickness, highest this, highest, name it, diseases and all of that.
Momo.
And our hospital every day keeps filling up to the brain. It is here in Nigeria that we see that there's no bed in our hospitals. It is here in Nigeria that we see that there's no adequate. I don't want to go into that. But my reasons are there are other foods, there are other ways to consume good nutrients into your body with this explanation. Now, when I mean cooked food, we have the likes of rice, beans, yam, potato, and thereabouts. So the question is, if I am not going to be eating more than 2 cooked food at my age, so what then should I be eating? Now, there's this normal worksheets we should eat our food on a daily basis. From the space of 7 to 9, you should go on raw, which is fruits or vegetables. Smoothies, juice.
How will I eat vegetable without being cooked?
Without being cooked? Oh, it's possible.
What kind of vegetable?
Your cucumber is a vegetable.
Oh, sorry.
Your carrot is a vegetable.
Okay.
And so on.
Okay.
So you can take fruits and your vegetables in the morning between 7, 9, and 10.
That's from 18. Sorry, is it 18 to 25 or 25 to 40 now?
25 to 40.
Yes, from 25 to 40. Yes.
Irú àwọn tá máa ń jẹ bàlá àrọ̀ báyìí nǹkan báyìí.
Wake up with semo.
Oh God.
Now, what you don't understand is, at that early time of the morning, your body system is just waking up. And the body system does not want that much heavy. Now, it's not easy for the body system to start breaking those sugars and those things that you have consumed whole. And that is why you should take those fruits, vegetables at that early time in the morning, so it can help to not even only detox, digest easily. Then anything from 12, you can take your cooked food.
Okay.
And even then, with our mommies in the rural area now, I remember why growing up that time, we take only pap in the morning. And maybe around 11, 12, we'll be preparing to eat amala.
Fantastic.
That's the normal routine.
Fantastic.
But let me tell you
All
something.
these
Wait.
things.
Normal routine or normal routine? You wake up in Lagos. You are going
I wanted to say it
Oshodi or Eko to work with all this traffic. You now say you are eating cucumber.
Okay, aside that,
So you need
even
to
at
eat.
work, is it that time you now take your food and be eating? Some work won't even permit you to
So that's
eat.
Allow me to give
Okay.
a brief testimony about myself
okay.
and what led me into this. And the reason behind this explanation I just explained. While I got married, I started giving birth, and there were so many complications. I did 3 CS in 4 years, and the second CS they forgot some equipment and whatever in my stomach, and I didn't know how God helped me to survive it. But I took in almost immediately again, and thankfully that happened. If not, they wouldn't have known that something was inside. All I knew was that I just keep slumming anywhere I go. And we did scan, we did many things. We did not get to the root of what was causing it. And I'm talking about the operation was done in a well reputable hospital and all of that.
Yeah.
After the whole thing, I started falling sick, still keep slumping, and at the age of 26, I was diagnosed of chronic hypertension. I was diagnosed of, name it, many other things that I cannot even fathom at the age of 26. And afterwards, I stayed in the hospital for 6 months. It got to a stage I was turned to a specimen, and the teaching doctors were always using me as, so I discharged myself at the point.
Yeah.
I discharged myself at that point, and they made me sign an undertaking. So while I got home, the thing continued. So I was advised to go and do comprehensive tests. On getting to where I did the comprehensive test, more than 100,000 plus, I was told that I had just 7 to 8 days to live, because all my body cells were dead and gone. I just had few left, and those few were, every day your body regenerates body cells. Mine was not regenerating enough that could take me to. And at that time, I was so out of, and I didn't know what to do. Luckily for me, I had a mentor who puts me through and gave me a book of 150 naira. She said I should come over, I should not go home. So I went there, and she said, take this book. It's a 30-day challenge. Follow everything in this book. Strictly follow it, and then forget about dying. Let me know what happened. And I'm like, I am dying. You are giving me a book of 150. Who does that? What's the meaning of this? But I didn't have a choice as at that time, because I can't even go back to the hospital, and there was nobody else I could face. So I decided that, even if I will die, let me still obey and follow this challenge. So I did. All of a sudden, and what is in this challenge? It's just this normal thing I just explained. In the morning, take just fruits, smoothies of all vegetables. So I begin to eat raw fruits in the morning. In the afternoon, cooked food. Eliminate raw fried food. And in the evening, I take just vegetable, just salad, and maybe a bit of protein. And that was it. That was it. 1 month later, I'm still living. 1 month plus, I saw myself standing up from bed. I saw myself going downstairs. I saw myself going to the market. I saw myself doing things. And it dawned on me that, so I have been the one killing myself all this while. So if I could be healed with just the simple diet, then I've been the one killing myself. Then it dawned on me also, while looking back to my background while I was growing up. I grew up with a mother that used Maggi.
Hey.
No, man.
Hey.
Especially the whitish Maggi.
Okay, Ajilomoto.
Hey.
And
Hypo go wipe.
and if we don't use this Maggi, sorry, the food is not yet. Especially when we fry akara.
It's my great grandma that used
that kind of Maggi too.
My great grandma used that a lot. She will even give you one that okay, wafele for sure. Wafele is
And while I thought back at my process of growing up, you know, I later left my parents. I went to live with my aunt. While I got there, we were much in the house, but I was made to cook. So I fell in love with cooking. While I got to
you
school,
now keep using the Maggi.
While I got to school, while I got to school, I needed to pay school fees. I needed to sponsor myself and all of that. So I started cooking. I started selling food, and trust me, this was the trend I continued with.
Hey, oh God.
That's
in case you are listening to us and you know someone called what's her name? No, this time Damilola that have sell food for you before. Please signify now.
That was then. I still sell food now. That was then, but I sell healthy food now.
That was then. That's
was then.
how many years ago? Let's specify so that we know.
I remember then in Owolabi they call me Mama Jolo because
Where is Owolabi?
in Abeokuta.
Okay.
They call me Mama Jolo because it's always on point.
Well, in fact, this testimony is we should have agogo here. Agogo. Seriously. What's it called? The seasoning she mentioned. The seasoning she mentioned. I will use it a lot. Not my mom don't even like that. It's my great grandmom. Because I live with my great grandma when we are small like this, and that time we love Irepa. So I remember that what's it called? She will give us one. Oh yeah, love soup and she will not use. And the woman loves cooking rice, and you know rice and that kind of Maggi, and all this concoction rice. So is a quarter to jollof rice. So we, in fact, and you can cook 7 times in a day. So I know I have consumed a lot of that, but currently I don't use seasoning.
Now, going back to where I was coming from and all of those that are consumed, and I'm like just in a month of stopping MSG, monosodium glutamate. That's Maggi. Stopping it just between the space of 1 month, I got this better. So why am I using it? Changing my salt from the regular salt to a sea salt. Why am I using it? I asked some of my students last week that came from my healthy cooking class. I said, make research of how Maggi is produced, how salt is produced, and how so many other things are produced. And when they came to the class, you know, they came with this, so this is what we have been, this and this and that and that. So knowledge is very, it's a good thing, but most of the time, large amount of people here in this part of our world still don't have the knowledge. So if you ask me, why am I preaching this? Why can I boldly and confidently tell you that this is the normal way? Not because I was sick and I needed, no. I found out that this is the normal way we should. How do you do it? You asked the question the other time that here in Lagos, you know, going this morning I put my smoothie in the car before I left home. I drank a full, and the funniest thing is it feels. It feels.
Maybe she has gotten so used to it.
No, why I said that is this. Why I said that is this. Okay, let me use drug as an example. There are some people, anything that happens to them is paracetamol. They will just take paracetamol. There will be a time that paracetamol will not work.
No work.
Okay, it will not be as if they are just taking what's it called, appetizer. Yeah, okay. Paracetamol, but there are some people that doesn't even take paracetamol, like me. If I'm having a headache, they know me here. Water. No water. Okay. If I'm having a headache, I'm hungry in here. If I tell you that, read it inform you. Just ask me, have you eaten?
And do you know that all these drugs that you use to, cure some particular ailment, headache, this, that, they have their higher effects, side effects.
Yeah.
Because yes, it will work as at that time, but it releases toxins into the body. Now these toxins are what graduates to becoming inflammation into our body and causing a lot of disease with names, especially for we women. Now the question is, what would you rather do? Would you rather go through the process of eating healthy and be sick free, or you continue your normal process of eating the way you have been eating continuously? A time will come, the body will tell, and begin to spend money on sickness.
Yeah.
And that is why the lifespan that God has ordained keeps reducing every time. I saw an obituary recently, and I saw 50 years old passed to glory, and they were celebrating it and I'm like, 50 years old is just the beginning of life.
Now that place is glorious, more than earth. So
50 years old is just the beginning of life. So it has reduced all this, our chemical base, the kind of way we eat, the kind of lifestyle we live, the kind of, has reduced the age rate, and it will continue to reduce. Before now, you have got to know that people with hypertension, they are usually elderly people. Now children now has hypertension.
It's really
when you hear hypertension, you ask the first question you ask the person is,